Hey everyone, so it's been a while since I made a video. So today I'm going to make one about some simple tips that can make Air Force basic military training more, I wouldn't say easier, but could help you out in making your time a little less difficult being out there. So one of the biggest things I think, not I don't think, but that helped me out was, and what my recruiter suggested was learning the Air Force Creed and the Air Force Song. The Air Force Creed is pretty much a creed that was created by one of the chief staffs of the Air Force, and it's just you can find it online. I'll put the links below, but pretty much if you Google Air Force Creed, it should pop up. And pretty much I would just memorize this to verbatim. Don't be able to say it, and the biggest thing is being able to say it, the position, tension, which you stay and everything. It's something that you, if you keep just repeating over and over, it's this passage that you'll remember and it'll stay in your mind for a very long time, in my opinion. Also, it's just going to make it easier. You say it, and you usually say it before you sleep. Like when, what's it called, taps plays and everything, you state it and everything right before you go to sleep, depending on your flight and everything. The other one is the Air Force song. Again, you can just Google this, get the words and everything. Both things your recruiter should be able to provide you, and was it states so that you can memorize it and everything. You can get also information that you for when you get to basic training, where you get all this stuff that you need to memorize. But that's also in there. Just be able to memorize it, sing along to it. It took me a while with the Air Force song, but the Air Force created, I think about a week, I had it memorized and I could recite it in verbatim. Another piece of advice I would suggest is was it, is knowing you're reporting a statement. So your reporting statement is just going to be sir or ma'am. Keep that in mind. Don't stutter or anything. The biggest thing is remember you have to be in the position of tension, and sir or ma'am, depending on who you're talking to. Sir, ma'am, trainee, your last name, which is mine's, and then reports as ordered. Don't say reporting because that one is a no-no, and a lot of them MTIs will get on you about that. They're going to worry you're reporting the weather, and also don't end with a sir or ma'am. So you say in the beginning, you don't say in the end. So for example, sir, trainee, last name, inserted, reports as ordered. Every statement, before you can talk to MTI or anything, you have to give that statement. Pretty much anyone you talk to in BMT, you have to give that statement too before you can start talking. And another thing to remember is when you talk, you may be talking to your MTI, you gave them your reporting statement, right? If another MTI comes in and directs a question to you, you need to make sure you get that reporting statement again to them before you speak to them. And then let's say your MTI comes back to you and says something, you have to give another reporting statement to your MTI before you can speak. Just keep that in mind. And also just remember when you have to move or something, when you're talking to your MTI, you're gonna be at the position of attention. And if you have to like move or give them something, you need to make sure you ask for permission to adjust and everything. Like you would reach out. At first, my MTI never cared about it. Like one piece of paper, I gave it to him. But when I went to another flight and everything, when I was at the position of attention and I needed to give the MTI a piece of paper, I reached out and he looked at me like, "What are you doing? Why are you moving?" And it's just remembering it's different for each flight and everything and all that. Another piece of advice what I would give you is know your chain of command. That means starting from the president, Secretary of the Air Force, not the Secretary of Air Force and everything. You're gonna need that, but was it Secretary of Defense? It'll trickle down the General Staff of the Air Force and all that. You won't know all of it until you actually get to basic military training, which you'll find out who the wing commander is, the mission support, the mission group, or the group commander and all that, who your superintendent and who your TI is, all that. That's your chain of command and everything. But you can remember the top, like the president, secretary of defense, and all that, because that's not going to change by the time you go to the basic military training, most likely. So keep that in mind. And the last biggest advice I think I would say is physical, like getting yourself physically ready. You don't have to be the in the biggest top shape, but make sure you can do push-ups, sit-ups, and you can run decently. Getting physically ready before you go basic military training is very helpful. I enjoyed running, so that was good when we had to go in there, and just make sure that you're on top of everything, that you can do stuff. I saw a lot of people who struggled and they expected going to basic military training would get them fit. That there's a chance you could. I'm not going to say it's not, but you should rely on that. You don't want to draw attention. Your MTIs will notice if you're struggling during PT and everything, and it's just going to add a more stress and burden to you being watched by your MTIs. And even if you fail or if they feel you need more workouts during the day, like later on in the weeks, they're gonna make you go to this mandatory like working out, like you work out extra. So just get yourself ready. And the biggest thing, and what I notice advice wise, is you don't have to jump right into. You don't have to expect to do 100 push-ups in a week. What you should do is just build steadily and everything. If the most you can do push-ups is 5, start with 5 a day. Next week, try to increase it by 2 or 3. Just make sure plan it ahead with what's it called, your workouts and everything. Is just plan ahead and see how long you have to basic military training, like before you're shipped out. Make sure the recruiter should give you a date and everything. Go to your recruiter and ask them, hey, sir, ma'am, I feel like I'm not real strong on this, because I was always good with my sit-ups and everything. So I was very surprised when people used to fail sit-ups, because it didn't make sense to me. But some people are not strong at sit-ups. If you're not, work on it. If you're not strong in push-ups, work on your upper body and everything. And if you can't run, practice it. Running, I would suggest, is don't. I would run sometimes outside. Make sure if you're feeling shin splits and everything, go onto the treadmill. But I really would suggest running outside on the street and everything, or in the track, because that's what it's going to simulate. It's going to be a good transition for you when you get to go to basic military training, because you're running outside and everything. And then, of course, add some pull-ups and everything. Pull-ups is not going to be a factor for the PT test when you go out there, but some TIs, when I was in there, they made us do it while waiting to go into lunch and everything. That too is my thing. Is my last, maybe I know I said that was my last, but I think the last big thing for me is having a sense of urgency, being able to move fast and everything. That's one of the biggest things, is being able to hurry up when something's told you, move with a sense of urgency. Literally, sometimes you might have to brush, shave, shower, and change in about 10 minutes and stuff and get ready. You don't want to be that weak link and that person who everyone waits on, because you are one team. If your TI notices that you're not ready, you might not get punished. Your rest of your flight might get punished while you're just there staying and watching while they're getting punished, which is not a great thing. So always keep that in mind. So move with a sense of urgency in getting ready, cleaning up, and eating too. Make sure you can eat fast. Just move fast in everything you want to. Even if you're early with something, the quicker and done and everything. And then the other one is being a respectful person. A lot of people are not used to getting yelled at or put down or screamed at and all that. You have to build. The biggest thing is, in the military, you can't only be strong physically, but you have to be emotionally strong and mentally strong. That's the biggest thing. You have to be able to take criticism. You have to be able to be yelled at and understand, it seems like they're breaking you down, but they're trying to make you a stronger person. They want to see that strong mentality you have. So keep that in mind as well. Keep it strong. Don't be put down on what negativities people say. And then the biggest thing is, be a team player. It's not about individually and stuff. It's about a team. The Air Force is a team. You are only as strong as your weakest link. I know that's a cliche that a lot of people say, but if there's a weak link in your flight and everything, you need to be able to help them, cover them. You're not going to be the best at everything. You're going to have your own weaknesses. So you need to go find the people who have the strengths to cover your weaknesses, because you might have a strength that covers their weaknesses. It's just pretty much melding together, making sure that because you all want to graduate together and enjoy each time, because you pretty much start in 0 week as a flight. And in those 8 weeks, I know now it's like 7.5, So just keep that in mind. Yeah, you want to graduate together. So my things were learning your reporting statement. They're not anymore. Sorry. Learn the Air Force Creed, the Air Force song. Learn your chain of command and your reporting statement. Prepare yourself physically. Learn how to move with a quick sense of urgency. And last is be a team player, but pretty much be able to work as a team. So I'll put some links. Pretty much for the Air Force Creed and Air Force song in the chain of command, just type it literally Air Force song, Air Force Creed, Air Force song in Google, and you'll be able to find it. For the chain of command, type that chain of command of the Air Force. It'll pop up. You can find a lot of things in Google. I'm literally not joking. Again, about your reporting statement, your recruiter should give that to you, but it's sir, ma'am, trainee, and your last name, reports as ordered. No sir, ma'am in the end of that statement. Keep that in mind. So again, I enjoy making these videos, guys. I made a couple. I'm just hoping that you guys view them, enjoy, subscribe if you want to. It'd be appreciated, and I'm very more than happy to actually answer any of your questions about it. Go ahead, leave comments below. I actually answer them, and I've actually gone to other people's pages and answered the questions that haven't been answered. So I'm more than happy to help. I've been in about 4 years coming up this February, so it's been a good minute since I've been in, and even though it's been a while, I still want to get back and everything I learned and maybe help your time getting to the Air Force or BMT or even your Air Force career a little easier. Ask me some videos. Actually, tell me some videos I should maybe make. I'd be more than happy to, and just pass all the knowledge that I have and everything. So thank you again. There's other videos. I made one about recruiting, about zero night. That's a big one, and then just a breakdown of the BMT and all that. So go ahead, like the video, share it, subscribe. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.